I was joined a short while ago by my regular Thursday guest, the man you saw having that Barney with Matt Keane, Nationals frontbencher Barnaby Joyce, the former Deputy Prime Minister. Barnaby Joyce, thanks for joining us. That was quite the argument there.
Pleasure.
I have to say, are you concerned, as I am, by Matt Keane's apparent conflict of interest? He says it'll be managed, there are regulatory frameworks, etc., etc. But to me, I don't know, it doesn't look right.
Well, it sounds like something that Mr. Keane has to explain, but, Andrew, I can't believe that, that there'd be anything like that. I mean, I've met Matt, and I know that, that he's come to this position on renewables because he just couldn't sleep at night, and intermittent power was his saviour, and that he is on a quest to save Australia from instantaneous combustion by having 82% renewables by 2030. And of course, I thought that he'd be buying maybe country underneath the transmission lines, property, buying farms where the swindle factories are going to be in front of them, so he could see his virtue every morning when he woke up and had his Wheaties, just look at them. And if the transmission lines can go just near his house, I would understand that. I'm sure that's going to be his next investment into swindle factories and to make sure that his house is fully in front of their soon-to-be obsolete trash.
I don't think they're going to be building any solar farms or wind factories near his house, but there you go. Matt Keane was waving around like it was, he was citing the CSIRO report, right? This is a holy writ, that the CSIRO report said no go to nuclear, it was far too expensive, even though, as I've just demonstrated, that CSIRO report has been widely debunked as underestimating the power generation of a nuclear power plant, overestimating the power generation of solar and wind, and not giving the benefit of the nuclear power plants lasting 2 or 3 times longer than the wind and solar factories he was comparing them to. I mean, how could he do this?
Of course. Well, as you know, in the Gospel, there's Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, and the CSIRO report. I mean, you just got to accept it as gospel. Now, the problem with this report, of course, is it comes from a country that doesn't have nuclear power. And AEMO doesn't have nuclear power. It's not in Australia, which is what the A stands for. So what we have is a piece of paper, sort of like Peace in Our Time, and we have therefore all these other countries: Finland, France, England, the United Arab Emirates, Czechoslovakia, China, Russia, Canada, United States, India, Pakistan. See, as you know, they're all crazy. They invested in nuclear power because they've lost their marbles. And what we're going to have is that CSIRO report going overseas and saying, you silly boys, can't you see that Australia says that what you're doing, even though your power is cheaper than ours, is unviable? Now, what I would challenge the government to do is, if you believe the CSIRO report is embellished with well, it is an embellishment, but it is the absolute truth, then why do you need prohibitions on nuclear? Why don't you just remove it? And if anybody goes to invest in nuclear, you can say, I've got a piece of paper that says it doesn't work. But of course, they don't do it. And this is the hypocrisy of it. They come out and say, we've got a report that's absolutely rock solid, says it's unaffordable, but we've also got a law to make sure you can't even contemplate doing it.